So good morning, everyone.
Good morning, David.
Good morning. We're back outside, which is wonderful. It's nice and mild in our climate over here.
Good morning, David.
Good morning. So you can go ahead and find a nice, comfortable seat. And let's settle in for a few moments of deep breathing. The breath is a central practice in this experience of yoga. So let's close down the eyes. The idea is to sit as tall as you can in your spine while still being relaxed throughout the rest of the body. And to begin experiencing yourself as a felt sense, an expanding awareness of the whole body. Just like we can see in our peripheral vision that we're not necessarily looking, but we are aware of our surroundings. This is the type of awareness that we bring into our yoga practice. And each time that you find the inhalation coming in through the nose, feel that there is a sense of relaxation pervading through this field of awareness. You might check in with certain parts of your body like your shoulders or your jaw or the point between your two eyebrows, and make the conscious effort in this moment to relax the body more deeply as you breathe calmly and steadily. You might take note if there are any inner conflicts that are resting within this field of awareness, sometimes in our heart or sometimes in our mind. And this is truly an opportunity for you to breathe and be an observer. The last thing that makes anybody want to change is telling them that they should be a certain way. And so we don't need to apply this same broken principle to our bodies or our minds. Rather, it's always when we're held and in a loving awareness that we feel encouraged or we feel drawn to expand beyond those feelings or conflicts. And this is the central theme for our practice this morning, is expanding loving awareness. The great yogi Paramhansa Yogananda said that love is bliss in action. Let's just take a few breaths to contemplate to abide in a loving awareness. And we'll end this little practice with centering the attention at the point between the two eyebrows. So look up with your physical eyes behind closed eyelids without moving the head in any way. Remain equally relaxed throughout every part of the body. And then when you're ready, you can slowly begin to open your eyes. So it's in developing this awareness that the postures become quite different than just a physical movement, but they become a living artistic expression of our own inner consciousness. And in this way, they'll serve us much more deeply. So let's go ahead and start our practice. We'll join some chanting later. We're going to stay in our seat for a few moments and just take our feet out in front of us. Hands to the sides, just a little rocking of the knees on either side of the body. So you may be coming back to yoga for the first time in a long time, or maybe the first time in general. Even if this is a routine practice for you, try to be sensitive and tuned in with your own body and its needs. And if you find something in the body that is tight, that is resistant, we'll begin the practice of breathing into that place. And what that means is that as you draw the breath in, focus the spotlight of your mind onto that part of your body. You might imagine that you're looking from the inside out. Good. And then free one hand over to the side, and you bend the elbow as you come across and set it down to the other side, and then just rock. Try to find a graceful expression. And then remaining over to one side, just take a few circles of that arm and make sure that the shoulder is feeling safe in the practice. If your shoulder is very sensitive, hold on to it and just take the elbow around. And then eventually coming to the other side, rolling your way over. And same thing here, just a few circles. And make sure you reverse. And again, you can have hand on the shoulder if that's more comfortable. And let's just end with opening the arm out and around. So that way we know the shoulder joint is expanding. Good, we're going to come to a neutral position here. And see if you can sit up tall enough to take your hands off the ground. And we're going to rub the palms together. And go right up and down the arms. Just waking up the arms and all the muscles underneath. Good. Let's go ahead and flip the palms up and out. And relax your shoulders down, chest is open, and we're going to hold our hands out wide here. So this is an intro into the boat pose. And the affirmation, say it with me, repeating after my words, within my every breath is infinite power. And extend that energy, within my every breath is infinite power. And then we'll draw our hands to the heart, just centering for a moment. Good. And then let's take feet together and we'll come into a little bit more of a restful pose. Let the knees drop open wide. And feet further away from the body is much easier on the hips. And we're just going to take our hands to the sides and do a little rocking side to side. So you'll find a little boundary point. It'll pull on the side of your hips. And some of us even get into a stirring where we're circling. And we're bound to find some areas of the body that need a lot of love and attention. So move slowly. And remember to bring the breath into whatever exploration that you're going into. Good, and then circle around the opposite direction as is natural. Some of us can hold on to our feet or our shins. You're welcome to do so. So we're really tuning in to the lower centers in the body, beginning to stimulate that energy to move upward. At some point you come to neutral, and we're going to inhale, pulling on the shins slightly. We're just going to lift the chest and look right into the spiritual eye, taking a few moments here. Careful not to flip the chin, keep the chin low. Keep the chest lifted for another breath or so, and feel that wonderful experience of your spine being in its natural curves. And when you feel ready, you exhale and release yourself forward. Bow the whole body forward so head and neck go down. And the affirmation, secure in myself, I accept whatever is. Secure in myself, I accept whatever is. And this can be an art new to the Western mind of being able to relax more deeply into a position. At some point it feels natural to inhale and start to roll up the spine. We come right back to that same form of holding onto shins or feet and lifting the chest as tall as it can go. Let your shoulders be pulled down. Crown of the head reaching up towards the sky, and we'll look at the spiritual eye, repeating, secure in myself, I accept whatever is. Notice what that consciousness makes you feel. And then we'll slowly open the eyes, and we'll draw the knees together. We're going to come into a twisting pose, starting on the left side. Go ahead and pull your left foot underneath. Right foot can come up towards the knee if you'd like, and you can sit and hold here. Or some of us may be able to step over the knee. So if you're here, you can always hold on the back of the thigh if it's easier. And the idea is to keep your spine nice and long. We're going to turn to the side. So if you're twisted over the side, you can wrap your arm around the leg and sit up nice and tall. The beauty of this posture is it's not focused on you. It's focused on the expanding of your own loving awareness out to another person, a group of people. There's a saying that the channel is blessed by what flows through it. So let a loving vibration flow through you. The affirmation, I radiate love and goodwill to soul friends everywhere. I radiate love and goodwill to soul friends everywhere. And then we'll slowly begin to release, letting exhalation pour out of the body. You can unstep. And we're actually going to sweep off to the side, and in between the postures, come up onto hands and knees. And we'll take a few moments here just to get our fingers broad and our knees underneath our hips. When you do arrive, go ahead and relax your nose towards the earth, and then change your trajectory by lifting the crown of the head and arching the back. This is cow pose. And then exhaling, we're tucking the belly up towards the spine and looking towards the lap. And just take a few rounds here. Noticing what's happening with your spine as you continue this movement. And coming back to neutral when you're ready. Our feet are going to go off towards our left side, and we're going to sit out of the way and go ahead and take feet back in front. So we're coming to the opposite side of the twist. Let's go ahead and tuck right foot underneath. And again, left foot can come right up towards the knee. You can hold on the back of the thigh and keep your elbows close by your body. Every posture is about what's happening in your spine. So keep your spine nice and long, even if you can't get into the pose you see on the screen. If you're stepping over, step over. And we're going to go ahead and turn ourselves over to the side. So let the heart face the side. Good. Nice deep breathing. Wherever you are, breathing into the part of the body that is stimulated by the pose, with the intention of always lifting the energy up higher and higher through the body. The affirmation, I radiate love and goodwill to soul friends everywhere. And feel that the natural joy and generosity of the heart. I radiate love and goodwill to soul friends everywhere. And then we'll slowly begin to release out of the pose. And uncrossing the legs, go ahead and take your knees bending, feet back onto the earth, hands by your sides. And you can do a little rocking of knees side to side, just to flush out the spine and the body. Good. And then when you're ready to, go ahead and pause with feet together. Some of us will open knees, and we're going to lift the chest. So it doesn't matter if your knee is open, just lift your chest by pushing off of your hands. Careful not to flip the chin up towards the sky, but keep the chin tucked towards the throat. And we're going to look right into the spiritual eye. So look up with the physical eyes and try to relax a wave of calm from this point all the way through the body in every direction. One more time, the affirmation, I radiate love and goodwill to soul friends everywhere. Alright, beautiful job everyone. Let's take feet a little bit wider, and you can just let your knees fall off to the sides. We're going to rub our palms for just a few moments here, and this is just to get into our wrists. So rub the front and back sides of the wrists. Good. And then make sure they're happy. Stir them out with fists closed. And just keep widening, keep widening, keep widening, keep widening. And then reverse. Draw it back in. Good. Alright, let's see if you can inhale halfway. Okay. And then we'll draw the knees together. Good. Let's extend our feet nice and wide. As wide as they can go, spending a little time grounding in our practice today. You're going to have to rub on the inside of the thighs just to get them to release a little bit. Sorry if I seem distracted, it's raining raspberries over here.
Open your mouth. Catch them.
Alright, and then we're just going to take a little bit of a leaning side to side. And ideally this is rhythmic and it's soothing, so let's not force our way into any place that we're not ready to go. Toes, if they can point up, will point up. Yeah, good. Just a little rocking side to side. And if you feel that you have the room to do so, do a little circling. You can even take hands behind you for a little stability. Just a little circling around. And we'll use the affirmation, I welcome each new opportunity for further growth. That includes the sensation in our bodies. If we can learn to breathe into that sensation, it will transform. And slowly you might start to lean forwards a little bit more and keep your rocking side to side. It'll help to soothe those very sensitive hamstrings. And take note, is one side of your body a little bit more open than the other? And maybe you can lean towards that less open side a little bit more. And then at some point the head and the neck want to release, and we're just kind of rocking side to side or resting in stillness. You can open and close your toes if you need to, if the legs ever feel overwhelmed. And let's use that affirmation, I welcome each new opportunity for further growth. So when someone cuts you off on the highway, when somebody cuts you in line, when somebody says something unpleasant about you, these are all just opportunities for further growth. To be unaffected. Yogananda said, be even-minded and cheerful under all situations. We're going to walk our hands over to one of the sides, so just choose your side and try to look underneath the arm. And then slowly we'll move over to the other side. Anytime that you're folding forward, you're encouraging an environment that is beneficial to the nervous system. Good, and then when you're ready to come through into a neutral position, just take your hands behind you and lift your heart up and try to sit nice and tall for a few moments. Look right into the spiritual eye. And repeat not just the words, but feel the consciousness of the words. I welcome each new opportunity for further growth. I welcome each new opportunity for further growth. And then we'll go ahead and draw our feet back in towards the center. So we're going to come onto our backs for a little bit here. We might try something else in between. Let's go ahead and just lower down and take knees up in towards the chest. And wrap your arms around your legs as much as possible. And we'll, in our own timing, choose to extend the right leg as long as it'll go and rest it down onto the earth. We're going to twist by carrying the left knee towards the ground across the body, and then potentially expanding our arms out wide in either direction. In the affirmation in this twisting pose, I open to the flow of the divine life within me. I open to the flow of the divine life within me. Say these affirmations. They help to heal any part of the mind that is clinging to negativity. I I open to the flow of the divine life within me. Think of the divine as your highest potential. And if you could take these last 3 breaths really unraveling and relaxing into the pose so that it can get deeper and deeper into the body, into the mind, and unified to the spirit. When you're ready, we're going to begin to explore the other side. So starting by unwinding, or untwisting rather, we're going to roll onto the back, take both knees in towards the center for a moment, and then go ahead and switch sides, and you can roll over to opposite side. So right knee goes across the body to rest over to the side. And if you can extend your arms out further from the heart in any direction, this is an opportunity for you to deepen the posture. I open to the flow of the divine life within me. Just imagine what that feels like. That you can be recharged from a source, that you can be uplifted from a source within yourself, with just the simple act of willingness, openness. And see if you can feel the response of the body as you open to that potential. Does the breath change? Or does the body begin to change in some way? When you're ready, we're going to slowly begin to make our way back up. So this time we're coming back with both knees in towards the chest. And then let one hand rest on each of the knees and start to circle the hips out nice and wide. This is a great way to heal the hip joint. And while you're moving, try to be as relaxed as you can be. Relaxing shoulders, relaxing even the expression on the face. And you may be comfortable just staying in this circling motion, maybe even a little rocking side to side. Some of us will feel comfortable drawing knees towards shoulders and reaching up to catch onto our legs. It could be your feet, could be your ankles, calves, or even behind the knees. And this is happy baby pose. Make sure as you're practicing happy baby pose that you are smiling, or at least attempting to smile, to get that happiness aspect of the pose. All of these postures inevitably lead us towards a more joyful nature. Just take some time here to really deeply get into the pose, and if you need to lower down at any time, you can. And when you're ready, you can begin to lower the feet down. We're going to come into a bridge pose. So to come into this posture, place your feet firm onto the earth. Lift the hips off of the ground by pressing into the feet. And you might interlace fingers underneath the space of the hips and roll the shoulders underneath the chest and lift the chest even higher. And focus here on pushing out of the feet very strongly. Knees draw closer together. And you're looking straight up above you. The affirmation, my every thought is a bridge to divine grace. My every thought is a bridge to divine grace. When you're ready to come down, you can lower the hips down to the ground. Just take a moment resting here to look up to the spiritual eye and feel any awakening that might be happening. What do you notice happening beneath the skin? What's happening in your mind at this very moment? And then we'll release that practice. We're going to let our legs extend out nice and long, one at a time, and come into a fish pose. So if you've never tried it, watch first. You're going to take your hands and put them down by your hips. Elbows are slightly bent. Some of us like to sit on our hands a little bit here. It can be helpful. And then inhale and just roll onto the top of the head by lifting the heart. So your arms should help you quite a bit in the pose. You're just sliding onto the back of the head or back top side of the head. And the heart is lifted in a dramatic way in this pose. Hold it for as long as you can. The affirmation, my soul floats on waves of cosmic light. Just imagine in this shape, there's so much energy that is being drawn up through the heart. And that energy pours waterfall-like up into the spiritual eye and the brain. My soul floats on waves of cosmic light. Some of us, this is a very challenging pose to hold. If you're in that position, just slide on the head and relax the heart back into the earth. Good. So you're lowering down when you feel that it's your time. Stay in the pose for longer if it feels beneficial. Now if you feel that your spine is starting to grab, especially in the lower area of the spine, bend your knees at once. Just bend the knees, step the feet down, and wave your knees side to side. And this will flush out any gathering tension in the low back. And then all of us will meet with one of our ankles over the opposite knee. We're coming into the figure 4 pose. So just go ahead and hook that ankle and reach behind the neutral leg. So if you have right leg crossed, you're holding on to the left leg. That's the neutral leg. From behind the knee on the thigh. And you're gently encouraging that knee towards the body, and the right knee would go away from the body. For any yogis that would like to experiment going a little further, you can extend your left leg and hold on to the back of the calf or ankle or the foot. Try looking into the spiritual eye as you practice this pose, breathing deeply and letting it change you as you breathe. And then gently lowering down, we're going to switch sides. So switching right foot down to the earth, left foot to hook over the thigh. And then go ahead and reach for your right thigh and go ahead and pull it towards the body. Pulling's not even the right word. It's a guiding. It's your hands are resting on the leg, and when the body starts to relax, you might find more room to draw that leg towards the body. And if you can, replace the idea of stretching with relaxation. This whole practice is progressive relaxation and softening into that relaxed place. If you liked extending the leg, you can hold onto the leg and pull it closer towards the body, or guide it closer towards the body. If you feel a point in the hips or in the knees that could use some extra support, breathe more deeply into those aspects of the body. And again, what that means is that you're abiding with a calm awareness in that place, and you're breathing from the inside out. And then when you're ready, you can lower down as you see fit. Take both knees back in towards the chest and just do a little rocking side to side. So this next posture is not for everyone's body. The easiest version is to stay just as you are with your knees bent. Some of us will plug elbows into the ground and we'll start to reach our feet over our face and press, and resting on the upper back, we'll send our feet over our head while holding onto the hips. This is called a plow pose. Some of our feet will rest on the earth. Some of us just hold on to the backs of our legs and we keep knees deeply bent. And find your version that feels nourishing. Just deep, deep breath. And the affirmation, new life, new consciousness now flood my brain. New life, new consciousness now flood my brain. You can really feel it in this posture, that a lot of the power and the energy of the solar plexus starts to get encouraged up through the heart, refined in the throat, and comes up into the spiritual eye as an expanding awareness, an expanding loving awareness. This is a great posture for calming the inner fire if it's out of control, or for stimulating the inner fire if we feel a lack of self-control. So you can either lower out of this pose and bring the feet back down to the earth and do your little windshield wiper of the knees side to side, or some of us want an inversion. Let's all lower down before we come into it, just so that you have an idea of what you're getting yourself into. So taking a look before you come in, elbows plug in, and we wave the feet just like plow and catch the hips into the hands and then reach our feet up over the hips. And you want to be mindful that if there is an uncomfortable and ever increasing pressure in the face or in the heart, we always first start by breathing a couple rounds of breath into this area. But if it feels too much for the body, or there's a particular injury that would make practical sense to avoid this pose, then slowly lower down and rest. Good, nice deep breath. And the affirmation for the supported shoulder stand: awake my sleeping powers, awake. Calling to the infinite potential within us to awaken, to take charge of our lives that we may expand in every area. When you're ready to lower down, the knees bend, we release the hips out of the hands. All of us are going to meet with knees bent and feet on the earth. And just let the palms face up here. If you'd like, you can take another bridge pose, lifting hips off of the ground. And then we'll lower down when you're ready. So we're going to take our hands into little fists, and you're just going to tuck them underneath the glutes. So you get a little bit of a buffer there so that you can extend your legs up to the sky. You may need to go further underneath. What we're going to do here is exhale and reach the feet towards the face. You can always unfurl the fists if you don't need them. And we're going to inhale and lower the legs forward. So just a little leg lifting. Exhale. Try pressing off of the hands and coming back towards plow. And then inhaling, slowly lowering down, we lower the feet down towards the earth. And then exhale to close the body down. So you can really exaggerate this movement by coming all the way into plow or all the way towards the ground. The slower that you move, the harder it will be in the physical body. You don't need to go all the way down or all the way back. Just because the posture is challenging, don't shy away from the challenge. Make sure you use the strength of the belly muscles to keep you safe and secure. You can do this by pushing your belly in towards the ground. Remember, the inhale takes you down, the exhale finds feet coming back over the face. So take a few more rounds here. Really dive into it. Don't be afraid to get into some expression that challenges you here. At some point, our body is finished with the position, And at that point, you can go ahead and bend your knees and set feet onto the earth and wave your knees side to side. We repeat this pose so many times because it's a wonderful way that we can flush the back so that there's never a grabbing or a tightening, which is usually what happens when the spine is weak. It's okay, it happens to everybody. And then just to make sure everything is secure, let's lift the hips up off of the ground so you're coming back into your bridge pose. Lifting them, looking to the spiritual eye and feeling that affirmation within you. My every thought is a bridge to divine grace. My every thought is a bridge to divine grace. And then gently lowering down as you see fit. So we're going to keep our knees bent and roll off to our right side, and we're pressing off of the earth and coming back up through a comfortable seat. Surprisingly, we're coming all the way up out of our seat. We've been on our backs for almost 45 minutes. So now let's go ahead and rise up into standing. Yes, and we'll feel all the wonderful expressions in the body. Balance on one foot and point through the opposite heel and circle that leg with control. Good. And then reverse. And then do the other side. So just taking a moment or two to get the body waking back up, and then reverse around. We're coming into a warrior one position. So take a big step back with your right foot. Left knee is going to bend. Let me show you the correct. Yeah. You're going to inhale and reach your arms up into the sky. Nice and stable here. Nice steady breath, looking straight in front of you. If shoulders are sensitive, hands right into the heart. This is plenty of lift in the body. And the affirmation, I attune my will to the source of all power. I attune my will to the source of all power. Let's look straight in front of us, maybe a little bit higher. Good. Hands can slowly come down to the hips. Take a half step forward with this foot. We're going to transition by straightening the front leg. We're coming into pyramids pose. You're going to take your hands on your hips or even in towards your heart and lean forward over this front leg. Feel free to bridge your hands, and your hips are going to push back. And the affirmation, I offer myself fully into the flow of grace. At some point, lower your head and your neck and just rest. I offer myself fully into the flow of grace. And when you're ready to rise up, front knee starts to bend. Press off of that knee and float the arms back into the sky. And this is Muktasana or freedom pose. And lift your chest. The affirmation, I am free. I am free. Relax your shoulders. Tuning into the body. And when you're ready, you inhale and lengthen the crown a bit higher and just drop the arms as you step forward out of the pose. Hands come down. Good, we'll just do a little reset. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down. Forward fold all the way down. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, relaxing, bend the knees and roll all the way up the spine. Good. We're just doing the other side and then we'll come down. Stepping right foot forward, left foot goes back this time. Nice deep bend in the knee. And then inhale and float the arms up. Relaxing the shoulders. You might even connect the palms if you'd like to above the head. I attune my will to the source of all power. Great teachers can change a habit in an instant, permanently, never to go back, and that's the type of willpower we're developing in Warrior One pose. When you're ready, you can release. You just let your hands come down. You take your half step forwards so that you end up ready for your pyramid pose. Front leg straightens, your toes sealed into the earth, and you're just going to bow the heart forwards without caving in the heart. Keep the heart broad, resting on your front thigh for a few moments. The affirmation, I offer myself fully into the flow of grace. And at some point, you really make that offering by lowering the head and rounding the back. You can drop the hands further down the leg if it's more comfortable. Really relax the back of the head and back of the neck. Very important. At least one more full round of breath, seeing how the posture is affecting you. When you're ready to inhale out, bend the front knee and press off of your thigh. Walk the hands up, and you can take hands into the heart or keep with that movement going up. Big arching of the spine here. Try to relax your shoulders even as you reach up. And the affirmation, I am free, I am free. When you are ready to release, start to inhale and push off of the back foot and stand tall as you step forward. Hands come down and relax out of the way. We'll take one reset and come all the way down. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold again, and then bend the knees and roll up the spine. Hands come right into the heart. Close the eyes and look up into the spiritual eye. Some of us release hands or leave them in prayer position. Your choice. And we use the affirmation, I am whole for the divine flows within me. I am healed for the divine flows within me. I am whole for the divine flows within me. I am healed for the divine flows within me. Let's take a deep breath, arms up overhead. Good, exhale, hands into the heart. So we're coming back down to the earth. Some of us, as we fold forwards, we may like to come into downward facing dog, touching hands under the earth and stepping back. Looking towards the lap. Others of us skip past and we're coming right onto our back. So all paths lead on to the lying down position. Whichever way you'd like to get there, it's the creator's choice here, creative expression. So we all end up lowering down in our own creative fashion. Legs extend nice and long. And we'll have a chant to take us deeply into this inward place. Night and day, I look Take a moment here together in perfect stillness. Lifting all of the consciousness into the point between the two eyebrows. Let everything expand from this point. We'll just rest here for about a minute or so. For those of us who are lying down, this is your opportunity to start waking the body back up, so moving fingers and toes. If you're in a seated posture, meditating, just remain exactly as you are. Try to stay inwardly focused. Learn to be still. And we'll all join together as we come out of our Shavasana in seated position, looking at the point between the two eyebrows. Softly join the hands together in prayer position in front of the heart, calling someone into mind that could benefit from this state of being that you find yourself resting in, of peace and centeredness. And hold that being in that light and feel that they're also blessed. Bless you. Seeing them enveloped in a light. Their worries or their sorrows just evaporating from within them. See them lighter and freer every moment. Let's rub the palms together. And we'll extend the hands out, feeling that your body is a channel. Let's finish with the sounding of Om. Send these vibrations out into the world. And deep breath to begin. Om. And gently drawing the hands back to the heart, a bow of our head towards our hands in prayer. We bow to the divine nature that is within each one of us. That is the essence of who we are. We honor that place in each other by saying Namaste. Namaste. So thank you all so much for being here this morning and joining. I hope you all have a beautiful day and that you continue to feel uplifted and inspired from your practice from this point forward. Namaste, everyone.
I hope this is not the last.